This trade was taken live during forward testing, and I'll show you exactly why I entered it and how I managed to hit TP. So as you can see, the position is already there, but we kind of enter the chart at 9:30 New York AM time. So what's the first thing I do? I go onto the 4-hour chart and I have a little scope around for any gaps that are formed. This wasn't formed yet, so I hadn't marked this out. However, there is a 4-hour all the way up here, a nice 4-hour gap. We go scroll down to the 1 hour, and if you already saw it, there was a nice unfilled 1 hour gap. We mark out our liquidity points, and there's another one there. And if we go down, scroll down to maybe the 15 minutes is what I had a look. We had a 15-minute intermediate low right there, right? So that's everything pretty much marked out. Now it's just kind of waiting and waiting for time to come. So when I go into the 1 minute, this is what I am looking at. So there are either two scenarios I saw. Either we go into the 1 hour, we sweep this liquidity, and we get a nice setup forming from there, or we go into the 4 hour and get a nice sell-off from there. So when I first came in to the chart, we see market accumulating, and this is perfect. This is what I love to see for market open. Accumulation of price. It means New York will have movement. So for the next hour, 30 minutes, it's accumulating, and suddenly 9:30 hits, and we fly into the hourly gap. We sweep this low, we have lovely accumulation here, we get our manipulation into the hourly fair value gap, and we fly up, we distribute upwards. However, although I knew this was going to happen, this is the key to trading. Patience. Patient. Not entering, even when you know where the price is going to go. If you don't have an entry model, it's all about discipline. And if we go into the 30-second, and I have a look, we still don't see anything. This candle just absolutely destroyed everything here. All the liquidity was taken. It just flew. So there was no entry model. So I go back to the 1 minute and I wait for price to play out. Bear in mind, it's only 9:32. There's still an hour and a half left of the session. Here's where it gets problematic. So price is going up, and it's creating higher highs, lower lows. It creates another little form of internal liquidity here as well, which gets swept. So 2 points of liquidity were swept, this previous high and this internal liquidity. And many people failed on shorts here. They saw price go up, create a 1 minute inversion, and they took this trade. Many people took a position like this, entered in shorts position that has here, and probably went for around probably a 1 to 2, probably went all the way down here. And many people would have thought this is an A-star setup. This would be their BE point. So you've got BE here, you've got 1 minute inversion, you've got internal liquidity swept, we've got previous liquidity swept, and we have our beautiful inversion with a BE point. However, as you can see, price just went straight to stop loss. Why did that fail? Because there's an issue. There is another high hanging at the top. This high from the previous, if we go into around 15 minutes, if we go back, or even if we go back to the hourly, there is this resting high that it didn't look right if price didn't take it. It just didn't look right. This high was just left hanging there. And that's what many people were either too impatient to wait for or just forgot about it completely. So now we're waiting for price. Price is just slowly chopping its way up, and bang, we get a beautiful liquidity sweep here. And what do we create? A 1 minute inversion here. Beautiful 1 minute inversion. This is probably the most A-style setup you could get. You got this high swept, this major high sweep, and you had this beautiful V shape right here. That's the best you could get. That is beautiful. We had displacement upwards and then quick displacement downwards, completely inversing this 1 minute gap. Now, some others may have entered the trade off of different confidences. I had forward tested and taking this trade off of the 1 minute inversion. Stop loss was, because it was A-star, I really believe that price really wasn't even going to retest this fair value gap. It was just going to go straight to TP. I went for around a 1 to 3.88. So this was the TP down here. So this was where the TP was. Oh yeah, it was at this low right here. So it was about 1 to 4. This was just textbook. So this trade was a 1 to 4. And just to add more confusion to the trade, you had a CISD right here. You had a candle closure below the candles that swept the liquidity. So you had your CISD, you had a sweep of a major high, you had a beautiful V-shaped recovery, you had an IF-free G setup form, and the CISD on top of that. I mean, this was as A-star as you could get. And very much TP was set here. Reason being is because if you go into the 15-minute chart and you had a look at the time what we were entering, we had this 15-minute fair value up that we were kind of looking to fight against. And that's where it got dangerous. As you can see, we were entering this 15-minute gap. So this is where it had got, problematic. Our BE point was literally at this internal low. If price is truly bearish, price won't react off of this liquidity and fly back up. If price is truly bearish, it will just fly down. And this is it. We had an hourly gap. We had an internal sweep. We have a sweep of a major high. We had a V-shaped recovery. We had displacement below. We had a CISD, and we had a beautiful break-even point. This was the most A-star setup you could have taken. If you like trade recaps like this, make sure to subscribe. I have a Discord in the link in the description with a community full of traders where I will be active, other big traders will be active, and also I have a free NQ execution rule set. It's rules I follow to the T to make sure I get a payout. These are the rules I follow in my trading, in my day-to-day basis that will take me to a payout. And if you follow this, I promise you, you will get a payout. It's free, linked in the description. And look, I will see you in the next video.